sharing experiences, entertainment, you name it. My name is Matthijs van den Broek. I lecture here in primarily the third year. And this is our beloved teacher, Japanese. A lot of you will meet her in the years to come, Miss Inoue. And we will host the interviews with the sharing experience with the students. So talk about year 1, year 2, and we hope to give you a lot of information and be able to show you what lies ahead and what the opportunities are. So I would say, let's start.
Yes.
Can I invite Vince and Violetta, please? Don't breathe, don't breathe. Don't breathe for 2 hours. So Violetta and Vince, I'm very happy that you're here. Second year now.
Yes, true.
Just finished the first year. Violetta, I read something about an interesting project. Basically your first sort of practice-based project. Can you tell me something about it?
That was
Which project?
About marketing for an Asian product.
Oh, second period,
Yeah.
second block. Okay.
So we had the opportunity to find a market for the Asian product that was goat milk.
Goat milk, interesting.
Instant goat milk from Indonesia. So we had to find a market, and it was a good learning experience for us because you don't know the product, and you have to find people that will buy the product.
And what did you learn from it? Was it easy? Was it tough?
It was tough because who didn't go?
A good question.
Are there so many goats in Indonesia?
No, it's instant, it's powder.
After the project, the goat was left.
No, okay.
So, but why I'm asking you this is because the first sort of practice-based project, which you will get a lot in the years to come, which you get a feeling of the business world. Vince, you were in the same project?
Yes, I did.
And what do you think? You know, you're talking to companies.
Yes, the thing I liked the most was that it was really close to the subject that you get in during the classes. So everything that you learn in the class is mostly applied in the project itself, which makes it mostly easy to learn because you get to use your skills and the things you learn in the classes before you are actually taking the exam, which makes it easier for me at least, and I think it's the same for you.
What kind of, can you name these classes that have been sort of parallel with this project?
Marketing is a pretty big one. SPSS, because you have to find data and put it together.
Yeah.
Communication.
And how long did it take, the actual project of the goat milk in this case?
8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay. And then you had a report, you showed it to whom? To the companies?
So
Or?
we showed it to teachers,
Okay.
and you have to convince them.
But were there also other products than goat milk?
Goat milk, we had also instant white coffee, cleaning wipes for your face from Japan, and what's the third one?
There was some face cream thing.
Some coffee. It was 2 coffee, 1 milk, and 1 face.
And do you have a tutor?
Yes, we had
Okay,
to.
good. Okay, then so you completed year 1, so you got a good feeling. Okay, how is it, TMA? So you want more?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So in the years to come, you get more of the project, import, export. We'll talk about it later. Year 2, year 3. What else did you pick from the first year when you looked around, your fellow students, the lecturers? What struck you the most?
What I liked the most was diversity from students because in a class you had Chinese, Indonesian, all kinds of decency, and in some way it mixed. So it was very nice.
The diversity of the students.
It's the same this year too.
Hmm?
This year, the first year, the students, it's the same diversity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's very nice to start
Yes.
with. Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. And Vince, if you summarize a little bit of highlights of year one, you think, hey, that I will remember, or
well, the thing I remember most is that during the second period of my first year, I started to realize the connection that this study has to the real world. So if you look to Asia, for example, we got a class from Mr. Johannes, which you will hear in a few minutes. And it was an economics class. And at first I didn't really like economics. But when I got to class and I saw the connections with the real world, I realized it's really pretty fun, and I started reading articles about it. And so you start to do things around your studies which help your studies, which is a thing I never imagined myself to do.
Vince, why did you choose TMA in the first place? What triggered you?
I went to Japan before I came to TMA. I had a year which I didn't go to school, and I realized I wanted to do more with Japan. And a friend told me about TMA, and I looked into it, and it is a requirement that you go to Japan or China or whatever country you want for your internship, which made me go to here because I like Japan, I want to do more with it, and I want to work in Japan or maybe even live in Japan.
So you were just one of the Japan freaks.
Yes.
There are more Japan freaks.
Who's the Japan freak here? Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. You will bring this is Inouye for sure. So that's good, now, as all of you know, international business, Asia, that's where it happens, that's where it will happen. That's where European enterprises depend on sort of for their own growth. So in that sense, it's a very interesting, but also very nice sub-region. What is your link with Indonesia again? You are Indonesia. So you study Bahasa Indonesia, which is a piece of cake for you. Huh? Is it? Yeah. And in year 3 you will go to Indonesia for your exchange and your internship. Okay, okay. And if you look back at the first year, are you excited to start the second one?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so the diversity is nice. Bahasa Indonesia, Japanese, Mandarin, those 3.
The language,
Yeah.
3 languages.
Yeah, and then all of you who come from completely different backgrounds, having in common that you have some interest in Asia, of course, to begin with, I hope. Are there any questions from the audience? Let me do that. You can ask them about year 1, and we will talk about year 2 later on, and so there were different subjects, different topics, different experiences. But this is primarily year 1, because they completed the year and they will continue. Are there anything you want to know about this year 1? Can you tell me from you talk about the project. What are some other subjects that came along in year 1? Finance, I hear. Marketing.
CCM, cultural.
Cross-cultural management, yeah. What's that? And marketing is marketing aimed at Asia, I think? Or in general?
General.
Oh yeah, later on in year 2, year 3, you will more aim at Asia with marketing. Okay, okay. And you already started with language already, year 1?
In the second block.
Second block, so
Yes, in the first block you choose one of the 3 languages and you start in the second block.
Okay, okay. So you started with Bahasa Indonesia, you started with Japanese already. And all of you know already what direction you want to go? More or less? Yeah? We use the green and the red cards. Yeah? We'll use it later on. You don't have to use it now. Any questions? You just started with TMA. There's 4 years ahead of you. One big adventure in Asia, here, internships, a lot of new things coming at you. What do you want to know? You can ask us or the students. Yeah.
Can I do it in English or just?
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Basically, just a question to the guy that didn't answer your question. I heard that once you do the Japanese stream, that you actually have to learn 3 different kinds of Japanese, right? Like one of them is kanji and like all the other things. Do you really learn all 3 of them or just one of the 3?
You basically learn the basics in the first year. You start to build it up all the way to you learn all the 3 of them. So you're basically being prepared to be able to, how to to do a job application in Japanese before you go to Japan. So I have to say the first year is a lot of new information. What I understood, the second year is just building up on that, and then the third year as well, and then you go to Japan.
But you mean the three different characters, the kanji, hiragana, and katakana. You need all of three, just to write any text in Japanese or to read any text in Japanese, right? Ryan?
So year 3, you already start with these
yes, three different characters.
Okay. Yeah, Vince?
Yeah, you learn the first two, the hiragana and the katakana, you learn them in the first year. And you learn a few kanji at the end of the first year, which you get a test about it. But it will set you up to read most of the Japanese text. And then in the second year it will be fully kanji, which is a lot more, but in my opinion more fun as well.
So for my when did you choose the language again? After the first block?
Yes, at the beginning of the second block, you start the language course. So you have to, I don't know, I'm not sure, but somewhere in October you have to register yourself.
But most of you probably know by now what it's going to be, right? But any Bahasa Indonesia, who? Okay. Do you have any questions for Violetta on the Bahasa Indonesia course?
By the way, we're going to give some information about the language courses. And tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow.
Okay, that's more specific then.
Yes.
But anything from your experience? Yeah, for you it's different because you're already Indonesian, so it's not that new, not that spectacular maybe. But anything?
No, it's a refresher for me. So
What's that?
it's a refresher. So I knew Indonesia, I knew the Bahasa, but learning it again makes you, it makes me refresh in new things. And because if you go to Indonesia, you don't use the grammar that often. So I never learned grammar, and when I came to here, I learned grammar. So that for me was something nice.
Yeah.
So I knew things, but now I know them more.
Yeah. Okay, so like we hear now, is that you get more specifics on the language anyway.
Yes.
Tomorrow is special classes, so you can ask about Mandarin, Japanese, and Indonesian. Anything else about your life in university here? About your life in Rotterdam? Where are you from? Are you from Rotterdam?
Yes.
No, not
Yes.
from Rotterdam.
From?
I'm from Brabant.
From?
Brabant.
Yeah, I don't even say. Breda. Okay, Breda. I thought it was somewhere. And you, Vince?
Yeah, I'm from Rotterdam.
Okay, so how is it culture shock, Breda, Rotterdam?
No, it's not a golden shock.
No? No? But you're living on your own now?
Yes.
And you didn't do before?
Partly.
So that's also part of student life, eh? You may move to another city, you're on your own. Many of you will experience that too. I saw a question there.
Yes.
Yeah, over there.
Question. How many time does the whole program took you? Like, do you have hobbies? Did something in your studies?
It depends on you. I mean, if you know how to plan things and if you know how to separate it, then you get a lot of time. But you have gaps particularly, and you can also do your homework here at school. That's mainly what we do because you have to wait for your class and you have your choices. So my advice is, if you can, do your homework here, so you don't have to do as much as at home.
You have a lot of hobbies, do you?
Yeah.
So it will be difficult to schedule. Which is a good thing though. But it's a good question because you get all these subjects and what you can do, maybe some of you have a side job and you still have to manage your time. Eh? Don't work too hard on the side jobs, but to focus on the study as well. Eh? Otherwise it will take you very long. Vince, you have something to add to that?
In the first time, the first few periods can be a little bit intimidating because it's very different from the middle school. But my advice, don't be scared and just do it whenever you get the homework. What I did was, I received the homework on Monday and I tried to do it on Monday. The same with project, start really early on, which will save you a lot of debates with other students and stuff like that. But just keep on going and don't be intimidated, and always ask for help. There's always help available, so you can also ask or your fellow students, so always do that.
So you didn't have any problem with discipline, right? You didn't have any problem with being disciplined?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, in the first year, in the beginning I had, but you will learn it, you will learn it.
Okay. I would like to thank Vince and Violetta for their the sharing of their experience in the first year primarily. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will now show you some video, so you can have an insight in what's going on, and there's some experiences shared, and then we'll move on later on. About electives. This is about electives you can choose in the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, you name it.
Altogether
So
six electives.
6 electives.
Yes, usually 3 in the first year and 3 in the second year. Right?
Okay. Yeah?
Yes.
So this is about that. So listen carefully, it's interesting information.
Hi, my name is Cariona and I did elective drawing and seeing. Drawing and seeing is good to clear your mind and helps you from a busy school life, and it helps improving your concentration by drawing and painting.
Hi, I'm Luciella, and because I'm a big spender, I did the elective money manager. It helps you manage your money better, and it's a really fun elective to do.
Hi, my name is Shauda. I did the elective of the 7 Habits of Highly Effectives. You learn about yourself and changing bad habits in a positive mindset.
Hi everyone, my name is Vincent. I did tips and tricks for a short video as elective, and it was interesting because I learned how to edit videos.
Hi, my name is Pearson and I followed the elective Spanish 1 in Block 2. And that's because I wanted to know more about the language, and also because we had a really nice teacher.
Hello, my name is Dongxiang and I did the elective Vietnamese culture. Here we learned about Vietnamese fighting sports, self-defense, Vo Việt Nam. Also we had a workshop about Vietnamese food where we ate in the classroom. After that we had musicians which played traditional music for us, and I really liked everything.
안녕하세요. 저는 마리카입니다. Pei입니다. We did elective Korean 1 and 2.
It was really fun. You're going to like this choice. It's really nice. And good luck.
Fighting.
Is that clear? Maybe if you have any questions about the electives, 1 or 2 questions before we move on. Basically, she could answer them, what it is, or any detailed question about the elective. Anything from the audience? What is it? What choice do you have? What does it really mean? No? Maybe later on then. Yeah? Anytime you can come with questions. We'll go on. I will invite Lizzie and Mumtaz to join us. Welcome, Lizzie and Mumtaz. And Max. Well, where's Max?
Where's Max?
Oh, there he is.
Where's he? Oh, no.
I thought you were not going to come. Put your hair. Huh? You can't miss it, right? Life-changing experience, Max. Huh? Good to hear, all 3 of you. Year 2. You're in year 3 now. So, starting with Max then. Fresh from the boat. Year 2. Tell us a little bit about, in general, of year 2.
So year 2, it's the main focus of year 2 is the project. It takes 3 blocks. All the subjects you have covered for this project. It's
import project, right?
Yeah, it's the import project. It's the biggest project you'll probably have, and then you ended up with the internship.
Internship? How long?
It's a 9-week internship, but some people have to do it longer.
In the Netherlands?
In the Netherlands.
Okay, where did you do it?
I did it at Horex, which is a company in Rotterdam.
Of all places, yeah?
Yeah, of all places. It was a bit of a travel, but it was a small medium enterprise, and I ended up learning a lot about how such companies operate, and that you have to take up more tasks than just do 1 year assignment.
Good.
Was it difficult? Yeah. Was it difficult to find one internship company?
For some people it really was. One of the most important things for finding an internship is to be very proactive, and there's some luck involved. Some people were very proactive, found one early, but then in the end still ended up having some trouble. So it's a bit of luck, but also being very proactive and starting early.
Yeah, how do you do it, Mumtaz? Because it's not easy sometimes. There's a lot of students looking for internships, so you have to.
Yeah, for me it was not easy. I had to apply many times, and I was being rejected also many times. So at the end of block 3, I had to decide for really looking for an internship, because the internship in the second year is 10 ECTS, so it was it's quite big.
But did you do one?
Yes, I stranded in Madrid.
What's that?
I stranded in Madrid at the end.
Oh, Madrid, you're one of the lucky ones. You're looking around, and then all of a sudden you're
Yes, I wanted to visit you.
Yeah.
So my internship was in the embassy of Indonesia.
In Madrid.
Yes, in Madrid.
And then, okay, you did very well. You struggled at the beginning, and you had one of the best internships after all.
Yeah.
Huh? And what did you learn?
I was placed in the trade department, so I had to learn the trade about Indonesia and Spain instead of Indonesia and the Netherlands. And I had to learn much about ITPC, that's the Indonesian Trade Promotion Center, and I helped also with the TEI, it's the expo, the trade expo in Indonesia.
Okay. And did they provide housing for you, or what did they?
Yes, they provided me housing.
Very good. Very good.
So I talked with many colleagues, and they said that many interns before me, they provide housing.
Very good. And Lizzie, what did you do?
After all, well, I had a bit of trouble. I was one of those students who had an internship right at the start, and then my internship got cancelled, and I didn't have anything until the summer started. So basically, I started my internship when school ended.
Yeah.
And I ended up at Kainetsu here in Rotterdam.
At what?
Kainetsu.
Oh yes, I know the company. Yes, I know the Rotterdam North.
Yeah,
yes.
Right below the airport.
And you used your whole summer for it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I only finished 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Oh, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Oh, really? It's something like this import project. That's one of the major projects. Year 3 you get the export project, which is also very important. But you did do the import one. What did you get from that, Lizzie, from that project? But that's quite serious. Good project.
It was really fun, really. I think if you start out well, and if you keep up with all the work, you do great. You can do really good with that project. Because if you just do what you need to do, and if you kind of get the hang of it, it's not a difficult project. It just takes a very, very long time.
You need teamwork, eh?
Teamwork, yeah. I think that's one of the main things. I think we had a great group. We went to do things with our team every month.
Instead of 1 or 2 all in.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of fun, which was important for us.
Hey Max, how is you have a fair also, where you have to sell the product then? Yeah. How did that go?
Yes, for the trade fair, once you have imported your project, you have a trade fair here, and you try to sell as many products, of course, as you can to the students, and the teachers, of course, have to really get them into buying your product. For us, it went quite good, and I think one of the main important things we had is we had a video up on Facebook. A lot of people already saw this and knew our product from that. We had the same colors everywhere. We were all dressed the same, so we really worked hard on our image and tried to communicate that with the outside, and that really helped a lot.
Yeah, so really like a sales pitch almost. And yeah, it's a question. Oh, on hobbies again, eh? Okay.
Yeah, so we did also have a website, and we offered online selling. We only had one sale online. Most of the sales were actually in person, but it worked out in the end.
The best is if you do it as broad as possible, not only teaching the students, but really the market.
What was your product again?
We had the Squeezy, the squeezable travel bottle. It was very small, but it's a travel bottle which you can fill, in which you can put your liquids, which normally you cannot put into, which you normally cannot bring into an airplane, but you can because of the size.
Nice. We have a video.
We do have an amazing video. This is the video that came up on Facebook. And how many views did we have on it?
300,000.
Yeah, we had exceeding the 10K in views from all over the place. Great thing about Facebook is you can also track where your views are coming from.
Now we're having high expectations, Max, eh?
Oh, it's a great video, it is.
It is a great video, he says. Okay, let's see, let's see.
Hi everyone, we are Twins for Your Imports, and today we'll be showing you how to use your squeezies. They come in two different sizes. We have the small one and the medium one. So as you can see, we offer them in 3 different colors. You can even label them, so it's easier to find the product you're looking for, or just make use of the different colors. Squeezie is very flexible and can even be rolled up in order to prevent taking up lots of space in your luggage. It has a suction cup at the back. The cap of Squeezie can be easily unscrewed. The cap can be easily opened and closed during usage, and it contains a small opening where the product can be distributed from. Right now we will demonstrate how to fill up your Squeezie. You take the product you would like to fill your Squeezie with and you remove the cap. Then you start filling the Squeezie up to where the white part starts. You screw the cap back on and it's ready for use. Then it's just a matter of squeezing your Squeezie and you're good to go. After you're done using it, you can also clean it. This is luckily very easy. You need to unscrew the cap and then the only thing that's left to do is rinse it out with water. Looking at the demonstration, you can see that Squeezie sticks to any flat surface as well. You can also use Squeezie to have fun. So now you know how Squeezie got its name. It's very squeezable. Squeezie is very portable. It can fit into your smallest handbag. And the final tip we would like to give for the Squeezie is, we do not recommend you to store hot liquids and alcohol. We would like to thank you for watching this video and we hope you have fun with your Squeezie.
The good thing is about the import program, as far as I can see it, is that you learn teamwork, very important. You know sales, you learn about marketing, you learn about the trade channels. So that's a very good starting point for you. Yeah?
So, unfortunately, sales have ended, so we're not able to provide any more. The small Squeezie, if I recall correctly, was $350, and the bigger one was $450. However, if you buy a combo deal, a small and a big one, you get that one for €7.
And how much did you pay to buy them?
I'm sorry, this is disclosed information. If you were to buy a share in our company, we would have been able to disclose.
Where did you get them from?
China.
Okay, we talk about the import project, the internship, the 2 major pillars of year two. What else happens in year 2? Montas. If you can recall.
So many classes, of course.
Huh?
So many classes, of course.
What kind of subjects?
Asian studies, also marketing again,
Law, okay.
logistics, finance.
Okay.
Were they difficult?
It's quite difficult, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, law and logistics sounds pretty tough, isn't it?
Really?
Huh?
Logistics was really
Yeah?
because it's a subject for 2 quarters, so 1 semester.
Yeah. Okay. And are you ready for year 3? Are you?
Yes.
Lizzie, are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready.
No subject left from year 2? Everything completed?
No, I do a couple left.
Couple left. Okay. But for the rest you can go to year 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions from the audience? Just shoot. About the import project, the internship. With the internship, it's like Max already indicated, you have to really not work hard, but prepare it well and make an effort, because there are a lot of students out there from all kinds of universities that look for internships. So companies get called by a lot of students, so you really have to network properly and put in an effort to find one, because you don't get them that easy. And then, of course, it's 8 weeks, but it always, some companies say it's too short, and then it drags on to summer, which you will have to be prepared to do so, like Lizzie did. Yeah.
A question for Max about this project.
Yes.
How did you fund your project?
I'm sorry, one more time.
How did you fund your project?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty important because this imprint project, you really start your own enterprise. You're registered under a foundation, but you're really in charge of your own funds. Nothing is provided by school. Of course, every member of your project group is part of your company, so you all put in some of your own money. Aside from that, you have to find shareholders, and in our case, this was that every shareholder was able to provide either 40 or 20 euros, and that's how we got most of our funds.
So what was your budget altogether, capital?
We ended up with a total of 57 shareholders, with a total capital of, I'm going to say, 760, so there was almost the maximum being 1800.
Did they get their money back, the shareholders?
They did, with some profit. More than you would get when you put your money in a savings account, so that's always good.
Very good. Yeah.
I had a question about the internship. So let's say year 2 you have to do like 350 hours, but you made 450 instead. So you have like 100 hours more of internship. Do you have something with that hours? Is it better or is it just extra internship?
You know that machine anyway?
I don't get your question. Yes.
No, you don't get any extra points for that.
Yes, many times the companies think 9 weeks is too short.
Yeah,
So they ask you to stay longer. So in that case, many students stay longer after the period of internship. But in that case, those periods you are somehow paid as.
But his question is also if you get like extra study points. No. It's just completing the internship, whether it's a minimum of 8 or 9 weeks, and it can be 12. But that's anything else? Yeah.
Actually, a question to the guy in the restaurant.
Thanks.
So you did this project, right? And you sold like an item. It's a great product, by the way. But are there any requirements to the project itself?
You mean for the product? Yeah. Well, there are some requirements. For instance, no edibles. There are some other forbidden items on that list, and aside from that, you can't just pick any item. You can't just go to Alibaba and just check, hey, okay, this is a fun item, we're just importing this. You have to have a proper reasoning, but it's all part of the project. There's an entire research that goes to finding this particular product.
Can any other one mention other products?
Actually, I think we have a product from the same company as Maxis. It was a different product. We had a foldable water bottle with a filter. So it is the same material as yours was. It looked pretty similar, except for that ours came in 4 colors. It was a lot bigger, but it was a water bottle. I mean,
but to answer your question, also you need in your team you have somebody's responsible for finance, somebody's responsible for the procurement, the purchasing, somebody's responsible for sales and marketing, or the general management of it. So this is a whole it's run like a small company. Yeah.
And they work in 2 periods. And the first period, the 4 or 5 students are managers, and the rest are the co-workers. In the second period, the other ones are the managers, and the ones who were managers in the first period, they are co-workers. So everyone is a manager once.
You really assume, you learn to assume different roles, like in a company. And that's the good learning point also. If you have a product, what you can do with it. So you need all the steps, all the puppets to run it. And competition, because a lot of things are out there.
You won, right?
Who won?
Max.
Yeah, so our group also ended up winning the entire project. So there were a total of, I'm going to say 16 groups, something like that. And of those groups, the group with the highest average grade, so this is for every report and every sales figure, everything together. If you have the highest average grade, you are in the winning project group. You get a trophy, your name of the project group is on it, so there's quite some. And you get a lovely dinner from Mr. Wolfs, of course.
And you put it on your resume?
Of course you do. I actually have it on my LinkedIn page.
Yeah, very good. And did you also? Because I remember the import project last year, the winners. The company was invited to.
The company was invited. How do you mean?
When you did this trophy and this award ceremony.
Yeah. There's an entire ceremony, and then the trophies get handed out, and then the winning group gets invited to have dinner with Mr. Wolfsweet, who is the project coordinator.
So it's a broad project, which is very useful for the entire course.
I hear there's also a film about other product of the project. Of a chip card.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G. Snoop Dogg. You know what?
What are you looking forward to year 3? If you know what's going to happen. It's coming at you.
Well, I guess, the trip to Asia.
Trip to Asia.
That's one big thing to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a big highlight.
Yes.
We'll go into that a little bit later on. Let's see. Any other questions to round off this block from the audience? Primarily year 2, when we're talking about that.
One more thing to add,
What's that?
One more thing to add for the project.
Yeah.
Because there's also the sales pitch, which is a way to get extra funding.
Tell us about it.
So I think when I say somewhere in November you have to do a sales pitch to a couple of business people, and then actual business people. So one person from every group will have to do the sales pitch, and then you can get extra funding. So they decide first place gets this much money, the second place this much, and it's basically a way to get some extra
funding for your import project.
Funding for your import project. Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah, we did.
Like a Dragon's Den.
Yes. Yeah.
And how long was your pitch?
It's only a minute or something, minute or 2. It's very short.
Good, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. So all of you got some extra funding from that?
No.
No way. But that's a good exercise also to, in a very short period, to convince somebody to join in.
Speaking for a big group too, because you're basically standing here and this.
How big was the group?
Full. Yeah.
How big was the group?
Everyone. The group
you're talking to, you're pitching to.
About something like this, I guess.
Oh, really?
All the project groups will be there, and then there's a couple of teachers and the business people. So.
That's a good exercise in itself. Huh?
It
Yeah,
is.
very good. I see a question there.
It's basically like the first one gets the most, and the second one gets something else. But it changes every year. I think we were informed that only the first group would get. Yeah, it changes every year. No, they all together decide and who gets the most funding, who gets all the funding.
How much did you get?
€1,000.
No, I think it was something like 40, 50 euros or something.
Okay.
So it's basically one extra, but it's something. And it's something you don't have to pay back.
And the thing, apart from the money, doing the pitch itself is a great exercise, it's a great experience. Yeah. I see a question there.
So Max, you said you had 40 people. Is it
57, yeah.
in a group or sitting in a room for pitch, or other ways?
You mean for which pitch?
Yeah.
For the sales pitch just now? No, for the sales pitch, this is in front of all the project groups, so the entirety of year 2 is here, both Dutch and English stream, and then here there were business people, so someone from ING, etc., etc. Those shareholders we acquired they were invited to our business plan presentation and to our finalization presentation, in which we announced how much money they would get back and profit, etc.
Anything else here too? Yeah, or you're just doing your hair probably. I thought you raised your hand. Okay, I think we pretty much covered the topics of year 2. I would like to thank Lizzie, Mumtaz and Max for your contribution here today. Thank you very much. We have a short break. Yeah, we have a short break. Please be back at 10:30. Then we continue the program. Now? Join TMA News. On Facebook, yeah? For keeping up to date with information. Join that Facebook page. I'll see you in a few minutes. Huh? Everybody more or less there. Great turnout. Also in the second part. That you all came back for more. I would like to introduce you my colleague, Mr. Johannes. Eduard Johannes, lecturer of finance, economics, year 1. What do you teach, year 1?
Year 1, 2, 3. So I teach, yes indeed, I teach finance, general economics and corporate law. So you will encounter me a few times over the years, certainly in year 1.
So better be prepared.
So yes, my
what
name is
What are we going to do now?
I have no idea.
Okay, very good, very good.
This is the third time actually that we are doing this in this setting. And Matthijs van der Broek has been hosting TMA Today Show now for a couple of times.
Yeah.
So the two of us are also known as Peppy and Cocky, or Jut and Jul, or wherever there are as colleagues.
Yeah. So we continue in year 3. We have some more guests. And before we do so, I would like to take a selfie with the entire audience before we continue. Actually, my telephone I can only take selfies. So it's not only that I want to. They always do that nowadays, huh? So I understand this. Yeah. So are you having fun? Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Like
are you having fun?
Yeah, like this. Yeah, just wave for a little bit. Hey.
Are you having fun?
No. Hang on. I just pressed the button.
Sorry.
One more, then we continue. It cannot take forever. Hey, having a great time? Informative, fun, entertaining? Okay. Hey, where are you going? How are you going?
You said okay.
Again. This is a very peculiar telephone. It takes ages before it's done. Yeah, one more. Last one. The rest of you tell. Wait. Okay. Emma. Paulus? Nee, not yet. Paulus? No. Emma and Stan. I have to speak. I have to speak. I moet spieken. Okay, these are almost alumni, even alumni. Already alumni, not almost alumni. So. You're old, huh? Stan, Emma, old. Ryan, getting there, huh?
I'm getting there.
2018 alumni?
2018.
Okay. We're going to talk about year 3 because that maybe for most of you is the highlight maybe. Because 10 months you're going away from home. You do an exchange followed by an internship. So that is, it sounds very obvious, but it is a life-changing experience. It's not just a holiday, you live there. The whole package. So it's a great experience. Stan, China.
Yeah, I went to China last year. I studied half a year in the Fudan University. It's the #3 university of China. I was very fortunate to go there because only 2 people are allowed to go there from TMA. So do your best and hope you're lucky. In the last half a year in China, I did my internship in the German Chamber of Commerce. And I assisted the project manager in there.
Good internship. Also talking about resumes. These internships are also very good if you have the option to choose a good company or a good organization. But 10 months away from home, Stan, from Not Geldermalsen, what?
Yeah, Geldermalsen.
Nee, Buurmalsen.
Yeah, Buurmalsen.
Buurmalsen.
Yeah.
10 months in China after you've lived in Buurmalsen. How was that?
Yeah, culture shock. My neighbors were basically apple trees and pear trees, and that's basically it. Some elderly living in there, and then you're in a city with 24 million people, and that's ridiculous.
Emma, for you then? You were in Jakarta?
No, Yogyakarta.
Yogyakarta.
Yes.
Yeah.
I especially choose that city because I'm from a really small town called Oud-Beijerland.
What is it called?
Oud-Beijerland. So it's about 25 minutes from here. It's in Hoekse Waard, maybe you know, maybe not. But I went to Yogyakarta because it's smaller than Jakarta. I had a better feeling about that because I thought Yogyakarta would show me more about Indonesian culture. So yeah, I had a great time there. I lived it was called a Kos for girls, so there were only girls there, and it was really close to the university. We did everything there by motorbike, so we went there, we arrived, and the same night I was driving my motorbike through Yogyakarta, so it was a really nice experience. I had a lot of fun there, meeting a lot of people, also traveling around, so just took my motorbike to the beach, drove around for like 3-4 hours, and it was like a bit of an attraction there because I'm blonde, and that was
felt good,
fun.
didn't it?
Yeah, also, sometimes, because when it's really common thing in Indonesia to get stopped by the police, so sometimes when like, hey, then they have like sort of road control, like along the road, and suddenly they stop you and they're like, yeah, show your papers, and I was really afraid because sometimes they ask you money, and then I was like, no, I don't want to give you any money. Just smile, and sometimes they ask me, are you married? And I was like, yes, I'm married, I have 5 kids, and then they were like, what? So it was a lot of fun.
What is your advice in that respect? Dye your hair or what?
No, just be polite and don't believe everything they say. Just say you have a mom or a dad working at the embassy in Jakarta, and they're like, okay, just go, because they know they're not allowed to take any money with no reason. So yeah.
Hey, but Ryan, you were in Japan.
Yes.
10 months.
10 months.
10 months, that's a long time, not 3 weeks holiday. How did you experience Japan? Being there for such a long time?
I think same as Dan, it's a really big culture shock. The people are very polite, but so different than like our culture. Like for a person like me, I have a big mouth, so I couldn't like make my point sometimes because I just had to be polite during my internship, and just with older people in general, you have to be very polite. But other than that, it was like a life-changing experience. Met a lot of friendly people, and Japan, everybody is friendly. Just to give you some side information, I did my study period in Osaka, so at Kansai Gaidai, and after 4 or 5 months, I moved to Tokyo and did my internship there.
Where did you do your internship?
It was a bilingual company called Carter GMRN. They were a marketing consultant, so companies, American or Western companies who have the plan to penetrate the Japanese market with their product, they come to us for advice, and we consult them in any way possible.
Hey guys, Stan, did you cook your own meals? Did you get your roommate? Were you lonely? What happened?
Yeah, well, I was living with a classmate from TMA in China, in the International Students Village, in the university. When I came to China the first day, I was like, I need to cook, I need to clean, I need to do my laundry myself, because I was living with my parents during my studies in TMA. So I came there the first day, my roommate was there for a week already, and I was like, okay, so what are we gonna eat? I'm tired, just got off the plane, it's time for dinner. He was like, I have nothing. So I was like, what did you eat? He was like, yeah, I went out for dinner. I was like, you're crazy, it's expensive, right? Because in the Netherlands, it's basically unaffordable to go out for dinner every night. So I cooked myself, and it was the last time I cooked myself. Because then I found out there was street food and just restaurants and everywhere, and it was cheaper than buying your own foods in the supermarket and cooking it yourself.
Hey Emma, what about friendship? Did you make a lot of friends? BFFs? BFFs?
Yeah, well, it was in the beginning, it was...
What are BFFs?
Best friends forever.
Okay, good to know, thank you.
Yeah, in the beginning it was a little bit difficult because I was only with the girls, the guys were separate, and at school we were the only, they called us boule, which is foreigner, like, yeah, white people. So we were a bit of outsiders, and after a while we were really part of the class because it was a class with only Indonesian people. There were no other foreigners than us.
What did you study, by the way? What did you study during your time at university?
It was called international business minor. So yeah, it was.
Can you tell us something about
the class,
subject?
Yeah. Was all in English. You had like it was smaller room than this, but it was also with just presentations, and I had economics, human resource management. It was really diverse and also a lot of fun. We had also it was a bit similar to here in the Netherlands to do like a sort of business plan. Also a small fair. We sold poffertjes there, so we made a business plan. So we wanted to do something Dutch in there. We sold it to the students at the campus. So
huge success or what?
Yeah, they really liked it, and we also used like Indonesian fruit. So yeah, it was a bit of Dutch and a bit of Indonesian. So.
Okay, and then Ryan in Japan, how was in Japan the exchange? Was it tough? The subjects you got in school there, or was it a piece of cake, or was it?
In my personal opinion, it was a piece of cake.
Yeah. Easy. What kind of subject? Name a few.
So I studied Japanese. I was at level 5 of 8, I think, or 4, something like that.
4, 5, or 8?
Out of 8, I was like between 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Other than that, I studied globalization in Japan. So you learn about the Western influences in Japan. Geishas, gangsters, and samurais I did. It was a kind of elective. It was pretty fun. And Japanese management.
Okay. But I think the most you got out of it is being there for such a long time, being on your own, out there, and you're gonna go back, all of you. You're gonna go back.
Yes,
I'm gonna go back to Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah.
Go back to China, that's all.
Perhaps it's good to mention that these 3 all started in September 2013. So that's 4 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. 2 of them now graduated, Stan and Emma, right? And Ryan is about to graduate in a few months' time. So we have 2 alumni here and 1 student who started in September 2013. So that's for you to know that you can do this in 4 years' time with the same experience as these guys.
But just make sure you start on time. So after you get back from your year in Asia, just make sure you really start looking for a thesis company in January. Yeah,
in the middle of your reverse culture shock, try to pick up the pieces and continue and finish it off. Huh?
Do we have time for one question? Because the gentleman from Luxembourg raised his hand.
Yeah. Luxembourg calling.
What am I doing now? Well, I had my defense last week, so I'm now looking for a job. So yeah.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to stay in Europe?
For now I just moved in with my boyfriend. So
and
now I'm living out in Rotterdam here. I'm just planning to stay here, but in the future I really want to live in Indonesia.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have something special here. We're gonna have a Skype connection with Shanghai. One of our students, Cheng, is in Shanghai. And we want to talk to him a little bit. I think we have to get a little bit closer, otherwise he doesn't hear us. Eduard? Okay. We have to sort of... don't see him, He was there the whole time, now he's gone. Cheng. Anybody out there? Hello? Cheng? You're the zoo or something like that there. Hey Cheng, how are you? He sees me, what is gone? It's a picture quality, though. Chen, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yes, I can hear you.
We're sitting here with 3,000 people. They're all looking at you.
Oh, man.
It's good to have you here. We talked a lot about the third year being abroad. Now you're in Shanghai. How is it? How are you doing?
Doing fine. Started my internship 4 weeks ago. Can you hear me?
What's that? You're very nice.
I said, yeah. I'm doing fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm doing fine. So I started my internship 4 weeks ago.
Are you in the company now, by the way?
Yeah, it's actually downstairs.
Did they have to wake you up for the Skype call?
The cafe.
Okay. Hey, but how's life in Shanghai? Is it a second home already? Second home?
Yeah, it actually feels like a second home. It feels like a really long time ago since I've been in Holland.
Yeah. You don't want to go back, do you?
No, I want to go back.
Yeah, you have to finish your 4th year, your thesis, you know that, huh?
Yeah, I know.
What do you do apart from your internship and your exchange program before that? What do you do? What do you do in the weekend?
Hang out and also like during long holidays I go travel within China and also like outside China.
Do you have a lot of friends?
Yeah, make a lot of new friends, all like other exchange students. Actually, I think the new semester is supposed to start soon, so there will be new students coming soon.
And the internship, is it the exchange and the internship? Was it useful? Did you learn a lot from it?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
What's that?
Can you repeat that what you said? Because I couldn't hear you.
Oh, if you don't want to answer, you just pretend you're not hearing it, right?
No, that's okay.
Jay, because it's for us interesting to see how life is in Shanghai. I mean, it's not just 3 weeks holiday. You're there the entire year almost, eh?
Yeah.
You live on your own?
I live actually in the student accommodation, which is like kind of like an apartment, and I live with Alex, which is also a TMA student, and someone else, but he actually moved out, so we're with 2 people now in an apartment.
Can we take some questions from the audience, actually? Shall we do? I'll repeat it for you. Is there anybody who wants to ask Cheng something about living in Shanghai? Or living abroad for them? Can be practical, yeah. Sheng, good question. Is it expensive to be there, to live there?
Actually, I think, China has a lot of rich people, and Shanghai is the most expensive city actually in China, so, I think it differs very much. You can, eat for 100 euros at dinner, or you can eat for, 2 euros, up to you.
What do you pay for your apartment?
Apartment, I pay 3,200 RMB a month, which is around 450 euros.
You can share it, the 3 of you?
No, 450 each person.
Okay. And transportation, is that expensive?
No, transportation, if you go with the metro, it's pretty cheap, but I often take taxi, which is from my house to city center, 30-minute drive, about 8 euros.
Are you in Donghua or Fudan?
Fudan.
And how far you have to commute, let's say, or you had to commute when you were studying there?
To the city center, I think it's about 30 minutes with the metro, around 40 minutes. And to my internship also 40 minutes because it's pretty.
Okay. Did it answer your question a little bit? Yeah? Anybody else want to ask Cheng something about living in Shanghai? Luxembourg calling now? Luxembourg now?
I have a particular interest in this internship.
Yes,
as you understand, Jane. Good to see you again. Good to see that you're having a lot of fun.
Be careful, it doesn't go away.
And of course, it doesn't dare to go away now. No, my question is, Jane, please tell us, tell the audience, what is the internship about? Tell us something about the company. What do you know already after 4 weeks' time about your company? What do you have to do?
I'm currently doing an internship for this company called Hobad. Maybe you guys have heard of it. You know, in Rotterdam. It's a bike-sharing company. Actually, it says like it's Singaporean first, but actually that's more than based in Shanghai. And what I do is I'm currently a marketing intern, but it's kind of like a startup. So I have actually all of the responsibilities for intern, I think, because I'm like doing customer service, but also like communicating between the Dutch branch and also it has office near Shanghai.
So that's marketing, right? Am I right or not?
Sorry?
That's marketing, right or not? Are we talking about sales now?
I cannot hear you very well.
It's the same for me, to be honest. Do you understand, Jack, by the way? Yes? Yeah. Because I don't. Well, he's alive. Okay. Anything more to add, Jack? What about your studies? Because your studies was prior to your internship, of course.
It was actually really nice because at Fudan they actually arrange all things for you. You can pick like your own subject, just like elective, and they actually change. I think every 2 years, depending what kind of subject they offer. And Chinese was one-on-one almost. It was actually really nice. Like for once, I had actually studied for my Chinese exam.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you passed, right?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, that's good. Congratulations. Congratulations. Do you still have more?
Shall we let him go? Let him go.
Not before I asked him. Do you have anything to mention to these first year students in respect of your time abroad, Jane? Do you have anything to mention, to add, to advise maybe the students sitting here?
We have 2 questions.
I think the most difficult thing, was actually internship maybe. Not especially when it's like looking for internship also, but also the visa thing is kind of complicated. So I suggest if you want to like have a carefree holiday between in the summer, I suggest start looking for internship very soon, and then
Okay, Jake, we have 2 questions from the audience. One is over here. What do you want to ask?
Do you speak English or Chinese in the company?
Do you speak English or Mandarin in the company?
Sorry?
Do you speak English or Mandarin in the company?
Do I what?
Do you speak Esperanto? How do you speak English or Mandarin in the company?
Both.
Both? So your Mandarin is good enough to talk in the office?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. There was another question there, yeah.
Businesswoman.
If there's a question, if you get paid for your internship.
Yeah, I get paid. I get paid about 750 euros.
750 euros. That's not bad. You have a good internship, Which some of you don't. Or in housing, or it depends. You're doing good, Jane?
Yes.
Another question, yeah.
Thank you.
One second, ladies and gentlemen. Your fellow student has another question. Yes, please.
No. No, eh?
No, but I think those questions you can ask the specialists who are involved on exchange, and but he doesn't have to pay for his school.
Yeah, you pay tuition here, like in a regular year, but you're studying there. So it's not like you pay extra because you're studying at the Chinese university. It's your regular tuition fee for Rotterdam. Huh? Yeah. What's that? You can get scholarships, apparently. Okay. Anybody else? Cheng, we're gonna let you go. Yeah? Okay. Hey, take care. Have a good time.
Enjoy, guys.
I'll see you back in Holland in a while.
Yeah, in a while.
Now everybody wants to come and say hi. Yeah. Okay, oh yeah, here you see, here. Can you see Cheng? Thousands of people. Hey, see ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think we're gonna do a quiz. A quiz. Ja, hij komt. Soms.
Now it's your time to speak up, but not too loud, otherwise I can see the cards. This is how it goes. I will read a statement, and if you agree, you put up the green card. If you don't, you put up the red card. And that's the way how we're gonna present some fun facts. So, first one. Is it allowed to sleep during class? Well, the right answer is not in normal classes, but there is a meditation elective where you're allowed to sleep during class. So, if you're Next one. I know which language I am going to pick. Nice. If you're not sure yet, tomorrow there's an extra presentation about choosing the right language. There are more than 150 TMA students every year. More, yes. That's correct. On average, there's 186 every year. First year, TMA students. Okay. TMA is part of Rotterdam Business School. There are more than 20 different studies at RBS. Is it true? No, it's not true. There are 16 different studies at RBS. We showed you a video about electives. Are there more than 300 electives? Yes, there are more than 300 electives, but every year they change, so there isn't a correct number. There are more than 25 teachers working at TMA. Yes, the right answer is 32. 32. And the last one, I chose the right study. There are some. Thank you for participating.
going to come to the last part of this program. Year 4 and life after TMA. I would like to invite Emma again, Stan again, and our special guest, Boris. Hey, what an entrance, eh? What an entrance. Okay, yeah, we talked a lot about all the years, 1, 2, 3, 4, what's happening in the third year, the highlight of the studies. Fourth year, what is your thought about the fourth year, Boris?
Thesis, I guess? Yeah?
Tell them more than.
Well, when you come back from Japan, well, for me it was Japan, you have to find your thesis company. So some people take it up to 2 months actually to find a company. I think that's quite tough and you have to start early looking for it. And it's really good if you have any connections. If not, well, good luck for you guys. And afterwards, it's writing thesis, because that actually takes a lot of time, really. For some people, it takes up to 6 months, others 1 year, and so on. I mean, it depends, of course, how long and work on it. For example, what I did, I was working for a part-time job for 4 months, and I finished my thesis in 2 months. Because I constantly, every day, was working it around 15 hours a day, so yeah. And well, yeah, I think that's the toughest part of it.
Yeah, what I always hear, Emma, you can confirm it or not, it's very difficult after you've been away so long, you come back in December or January, and all of a sudden you have to sort of restart again and get the thesis going. How did you experience it, Emma?
Yeah, for me it was also a bit difficult. I find it difficult to start looking for a company. So I had the luck that I had someone close to me who has a really wide network, and she posted I had a post on Facebook, and she reposted it in her network, and then after 5 minutes I had an email, and yeah, that was my thesis company. So yeah, I had a lot of luck, but I heard from a lot of other students that they really, it took them about 3-4 months to find a company, because our thesis is different from other studies, because we do an advisory report. So and normally you have really 4 or 5 or 6 months you are at the company full time and doing your research. And for us it was as an outstander, you have to advise the company. So yeah, that was more difficult, but also a lot of fun. I had a really nice company. They supported me and gave a lot of information, and I was
What kind of company?
It was called IKS International, and they have like a monitoring system for healthcare. So a lot of students write their expert plan about fruits or vegetables, but for us it was a bit more difficult, and I think that's it's good to challenge yourself. Yeah.
So what did you advise this company finally?
Well, it was a bit difficult because they had trouble with their finances. So eventually I advised them to sign a collaboration with their current distributor in Singapore and try to use their network to gain more brand awareness in Singapore and start exporting on a small scale. And yeah, especially the brand awareness is really important for this company, since they're still really small on an international level.
Hey Stan, what did you do again? Flying saucers, or what was it again?
Yeah.
Flying what? Flying
I had a unique topic for my thesis. Your thesis is basically an advice export plan. You write for Dutch, preferably, or European company who's willing to export their product to Asia, and you need to do research for that, which market is best. I was looking for a thesis company and a good product. I think, like, what kind of things do I like? And I knew that, like, a lot of students in the past did their thesis for, like, companies with tomatoes, potatoes, that kind of stuff, and I didn't want to do that. And I really like robots, artificial intelligence, that kind of stuff, so I was more searching for tech companies. And then when I went to school, I was reading the newspaper, and then I saw just one page, which was about flying cars.
car?
So I approached the company. It's a Dutch company in where was it? Near Breda.
Oud-Beierland.
And
Breda.
and yeah, I contacted them and I wrote my thesis for a flying car maker, the first in the world. Yeah.
So, are they going to do it? Are they going to fly all the way over there?
Yeah, they're currently in a phase of getting the last certificate for making it commercially viable. And yeah, at the end of this year, you can see them flying over.
So
yeah.
which country did you select to export the products to?
Belgium.
Yeah, after my research, turned out Japan was the country with most potential to export this flying car to based on certain arguments here.
How long did you take your thesis? How long did it take?
Like 12 weeks.
Oh, that's quick. That's quick.
Yeah.
12 weeks to what? To write your thesis?
Yeah.
Good. It's quick, eh? It's quick. Hey, okay, and now? Now there's a whole wide world. What are you going to do?
Yeah. So, I have a dream, and that's basically becoming the ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in China.
Dream big, something big.
Yeah, it's a big dream, and therefore I need to apply with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I need my master. I got a job offer with my thesis company, but I rejected it because I want to continue studying, getting my master, and one day become ambassador.
So what are you going to study? What are you going to study?
So yeah, I applied in the, for the Master of Contemporary Asian Studies. That's more focused on diplomatics and social economy, but focused on Asia.
Very good.
So yeah.
Ambitious, very good, very good. Paulius, what are you going to do, Paulius?
Well, I'm going to work in Rotterdam for a while now. Well, I graduated, I'm an international student, I was. And now I'm basically learning Dutch. And afterwards I would like to find a job in here or work in sales and marketing. And then switch to our neighbors, Erasmus, and do masters there. Yeah.
Okay.
Which subject?
Where are you from?
Oh, I'm originally from Lithuania. I came here 4 years ago, to study.
And you're going to stay here forever, right?
No, I hope not.
Hey, Emma, I'm curious. What are you going to do?
Well, I decided to wait doing a master because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and it was also a bit unsure if I would finish in time, but luckily I did. But for now I'm applying, so looking for a job, and I hope to one day become a senior trader, so really what I learned here to do. Yeah.
Very good, very good. Yeah, that's of course a good option, eh? Doing a master or going straight to get a job internationally too. You can also do a master abroad, of course. Eh? A lot of TMA students did and do in Asia or elsewhere in Europe. So there's a lot of options. You're internationally equipped to succeed anywhere. Eh?
Well, yesterday they have seen some examples, and Mr. Horst showed you, I think, a slide, or Mrs. Hugees showed you a slide, on which some examples were mentioned of alumni, TMA alumni working both abroad and some of them also in the Netherlands, of course, or in Europe.
Yeah, there's some good examples, you're right. Are there any questions about life after TMA or the 4th year specifically from you? No?
There's one over there.
Yes,
please.
Is it really hard to find a job after you finish TMA? Because on the website I saw it only 33% could get a job after they finish the education.
Okay, let me repeat it. Is it hard to find a job after graduating from TMA? Because you read somewhere that only 33% of graduates find a job. Where did you read that? On the side of the RBS?
I think I know what he means. Well,
what
what I noticed, I put my resume on Monster board and also on LinkedIn, and I get a lot of messages from recruiters. I noticed that they are not really familiar with TMA as a study, so when I reply, I always explain them, what the study is and why, what kind of jobs you can get with this study. So I think you really have to look in the trader, so junior trader. There are a lot of open application. Sorry. So yeah, it's not that difficult. It depends on how hard you look and how you represent yourself. So, and I think it's also important to try to get a job out of your internships, because I hear a lot of students getting or they keep working at their internship company. Sorry.
Yeah, and in addition to that, I want to give you one advice: be proactive, be motivated. You can really do amazing things. I mean, in China, you can do amazing internships. For myself, I can say I had a really amazing internship. I met the CEO of Porsche China, from Volkswagen China. This kind of people. I met ministers, people like that. You can really do amazing things. Work on your network, work hard, and make it yourself hard.
Good advice, Tom.
Yeah, for those that actually want to work in Asia, what I advise is, after you finish your exchange studies in Asia, look for an internship that you would like to work in after you graduate. Quite a few students, when they finished internship, they contacted their company after graduation and they got actually the job there because they did such a good job. For example, I was hired by my company to work remotely for several months for the Asian company from Holland, and they were actually paying me like the salary and so on. And even now I have the contact with them, and if I'm interested, they're always open to give me a job. So what I actually advise is try getting in touch with them, always keeping like a good relationship, and that will land you a job eventually.
Very good advice. You have to distinguish yourself. You're good at international business, emphasis on Asia, but that's your trade, international business. There's one question there.
I have a question for the gentleman on the right. After you complete your master's, will you continue to possibly work in Japan?
After you complete your master's, Tom, will you continue to work in China?
The one on the right.
In Japan. The one on the right. Polish.
Yeah, well, I'm still considering it, because in Japan the issue is if you actually want to work a job by your profession is a bit difficult. You have to have a language almost a native level, and which is difficult to find an entry-level job for. So therefore, I would like to finish a master, and for example, for me, I would like to finish a master in finance, which would allow me to work in the more competitive field where I could distinguish myself by my skills instead of my language level, and eventually will learn Japanese if needed.
I have a follow-up. Because I hear often that for foreigners in Japan, it's very hard to find a job. Do you then focus more on international businesses in Japan or on a Japanese business? I don't know.
Let me repeat it. Your question is, just to repeat it, why it's difficult to find a job being a foreigner in Japan, so do you focus more on international companies rather than Japanese companies?
Well, what I actually learned being in Japan, I was working in a recruiting firm, and I was actually getting involved with a lot of foreign people, like I was in a community of theirs. And what they told me, if you actually have no Japanese level or just basic level, to find a normal job, it's quite difficult. What you eventually will do is recruiting or English teaching. So either you have a skill for it or you have a good level of Japanese, and only then you can actually work for something that you want.
Maybe I can add something to that. Apart from Paul's experience, of course, in Japan, you will notice for sure that the coming years, because that's already happening, that the Japanese economy is opening up towards the international world. So that creates more opportunities for international students, international talent, international managers to work in countries, also in Japan, and maybe also for Japanese companies. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Well, actually, my friends got a job in marketing, and he had a decent level of Japanese, and he just recently contacted them, and actually he landed the job. So you're always open to try, and maybe you will succeed.
But there are a couple of alumni from here who live in Japan now.
Yes, for sure.
Good jobs. There are a couple of them. Luxembourg.
From Luxembourg, yes.
Luxembourg.
What's your name? Because otherwise.
Max. Okay.
My question is, which level do you have and which level is it you require?
Your language level, which level do you have, which level is required? In Japan?
When I finished the studies and after my internship, I had like N3 level, so I could communicate on daily basis. But in Japan, it's important to have Keigo, which is a formal language, which you use every time in the business. And if you don't have that, it's rather difficult because it's impolite to speak with other business persons with your like street language, sort of. So yeah.
Yeah?
It's about money, most probably, no?
What's that? No, about money again?
No.
At school here, do you study business language, like Chinese in business, or like basic?
Yeah, I think of course in general it's very difficult, whether it's Bahasa Indonesia or Mandarin or Japanese, to really speak it in a business environment. That's difficult anyway. But I think the language teachers can answer the question.
We have an information meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, there's an information meeting specifically about languages. So there you can ask all these questions about levels and things, yeah?
But you can ask them, did you use the language in a business environment?
Well, I did my internship in China in the German Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, I don't speak German, but everything was in English because there were also some other like European nationality people working in there, as well as Chinese. So when I was capable of doing it in Chinese, I spoke Chinese, and it was too difficult. Then I just did it in English because. But it's up to you. I mean, I don't say. It's not a good thing to don't speak Chinese when you're in China, but you can perfectly survive without. But for your own sake, practice it. I really regret because the first half year in China, I didn't dare to speak out because I was afraid of making mistakes, and I knew I had a decent level of Chinese when I got there. But yeah, just try.
But for sure, speaking an Asian language next to English, of course, or any other foreign language is an added value.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But please tomorrow more on this subject, on languages. So all the specifics, please do come and ask. We're going to wrap it up for today. Only I want to ask Mrs. Albers to give some information to conclude this program. Did you like it? Did you have a good time? Okay.
Yes, it's working. So thank you all for this wonderful show. I just wanted to wrap up with some boring information about the rest of the day, which is not boring, by the way. You'll all be going to the city center. We prepared a game for 1,000 students at the same time, which is kind of a big job also for all of our students that are here today. This is what we're going to do. Once we finish, you can follow your mentor outside to the main hall here. There, they will gather you and they will give you an envelope with wristbands, so that at the party at the Schouwburg later this day you can have drinks. Without them you cannot. And some coupons for fries, so that's also nice. And they will inform you further on where you have to be. You have to be at a specific game at 2 o'clock, and there we'll start. So make sure you know where that is. If you don't, keep asking them until you do, and then everything will be fine. My final thing to say is, do not forget your ID tomorrow for the diagnostic testing, because if you do not have your ID, you cannot participate, and you are allowed to. You have to do the extra course. So please do not forget your ID. I have a question over there. Do any of the teachers here know if a driver's license is okay for diagnostic testing? I don't think so, right? I think either ID card or passport. Yes. Yes. Unless something changed, yes. But I hope everybody has an ID, right? So just bring your passport or ID card. Is there anybody who doesn't have? So to the mentors, please guide your students to the main hall in front and give them the envelopes. And I'll see you all running around.
Oh, it does, yeah?